What is up, everybody? On this wonderful Saturday, it is time for some Master Duel tournament action. And it's a special Challenger Cup happening today because it is not your regular 128 player Challenger Cup. Instead, we are going to be watching a Challenger Cup that is going to qualify 4 people for the Master Duel season finals, or rather just the Master Duel finals of the year. Which is going to be happening soon in person, and that's going to be a very fun tournament and stream as well. But the top 4 players of today's tournament are going to qualify for that, so that is going to be very exciting. We are not joining the tournament action in the beginning of the tournament. Actually, the tournament has been going on for a while, but we're going to be joining towards the end of the Swiss rounds because it is a rather long tournament compared to the other Challenger Cups, because it is 6 rounds of Swiss, I believe, and then followed by a top 16, if I remember correctly. And we are joining the action at the end of Swiss. So in the most important Swiss round here, round number 6, is when our stream starts today. So we have our players assembled already. Before we jump into the matches, because they are starting right now, a quick reminder of how the rules for this one work, because it is slightly different from previous Challenger Cups this season, because it does have the Swiss rounds and then top cut setting. They are playing best of 3, but they are playing with 2 separate decks. Each of the players has submitted 2 deck lists instead of just 1, so they have the opportunity to switch between games. So what I want to do is I want to pick some matches that are playing for a top cut spot, because of course we're cutting to a top 16, which I believe everyone who has 5 wins and 1 loss after 6 rounds should be guaranteed to make it, pretty much. And then we might have a couple of X2s who make it into the thing. So I think we can jump in between Abahamut and yugioh, who are both very known players in the Challenger Cup scene, and are both currently X2. So they are playing for a potential spot in the top 16. Even if they win, they might not make it, but if they lose, they are definitely out. All right, so for game 1, we have yugioh going first and starting with Lucius, which is hit with an Effect Veiler. Of course, one of the biggest questions for today's tournament is which of the current top tier decks in Master Duel is going to come out ahead, because of course we have a lot of decks that are pretty strong in Master Duel right now. We've got Draco Tail, we've got K9 Vanquish Soul now in the mix, we've got Yummy variations, we've got Mitsurugi, even Malice can probably still mess with the big boys. So like there's a lot of things that could end up qualifying here, as we see the Phimena to dodge the Effect Veiler here, which is always very rough when you Effect Veiler a Lucius and they have the Phimena already. That is a pretty big punish, and yugioh gonna pop off here, get the Pan from the Ketu, and we can still use the Malulu now to make an Arthalion with a Urgula in hand. Lunalights too. Oh yeah, Lunalight technically also not a bad deck. For sure in Master Duel right now. It can be scary. I've seen a lot of the top decks and top players recently have had outs to Liger Dancers in their extra decks. You know, I'm seeing a lot of different ways to out it, but still, it's still a scary deck to go up against for sure. All right, we see the Rahu here with Phimena and Frixel. And that is going to give us all 3 Draco Tail traps. We already have Flame. Now we get Horn, and now we get Sting, which is basically the dream opener for current Master Duel Draco Tail. Not only do we have all 3 traps and Phimena, but also a Secretarion Dragon, and the opponent even wasted an Effect Veiler. So we're going to have to wait and see how this goes. It is a Draco Tail mirror match, and Abahamut also has a Lucius to start things off with. How does Yummy out Liger? There's a couple of ways you could do it. None of them are super realistic, but for example, you could... Oh, we quit to the Effect Veiler. Or the Ash Blossom, rather. Alright, full combo plus Ash Blossom is a good way to start the round for yugioh, and that is enough to take down Abo. Yummy can out Liger Dancer by going IP Masquerena, which threatens to go into Gorgon, and then usually the opponent is forced to use the Liger Dancer on IP plus another monster, because then, you know, they would risk getting hit by the Gorgon. And so if you then have the ability to get 3 more monsters out, you can make a Gorgon and then attack over it, which can work against 1 Liger Dancer, but not against 2. Against 2, you basically have no chance. Also, you have to make sure that you don't lock yourself into Link 2 or lower with the Snatchy effect. Have we seen the 2 new full art cards? I have seen them, but I haven't like read them properly yet. We can take a look at those after the Challenger Cup is done. I was planning to look at those once we are done with the tournament today. I'm going to stay on a little bit longer and we look at those 2 new cards. Okay, Abo now gets the choice of going first and is hit with a Drolan Lockbird after adding Lucius with Ketu, which is definitely annoying, but does have another way of getting things started with the Blazing Cartesia. And we're fusing Lucius and Fallen of Albaz, confirming that it is the branded version of Draco Tail. And we get Rahu with this. Secretarion can now revive the Lucius or the Albaz, but we cannot search with the Lucius, which is annoying because we are on the Drolan Lockbird. but it still is a free monster on the field. We can use it to make something like SP Little Knight or Verte Anaconda or Seals if Abo plays the Blue Eyes Spirit and Seals in the extra deck. In the branded version, the extra deck is a little bit more tight though, so do not always have the space for that. Probably more like a Verte, yeah. And since conveniently the Fallen of Albaz is back in the deck, the Verte can send Branded Fusion and resolve it after we use the Rahu. But we choose to not link off. Maybe worried about Nibiru? Because that would have been more than 5 summons. Now we could potentially call it a day after 4. Fusing Phimena and Moltrami Fualos into Arthalion. Phimena. The only thing is we only get 1 trap card now, not more. Arthalion is going to add back Phimena to the hand. We have a decently sized board, but this is definitely beatable. Oh, we drew Branded Fusion. That's why there was no Verte. But we are still choosing to play into Nibiru here. But that is going to make this board significantly stronger. One-legged duck, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. I'm glad you liked the K9 Vanquish Soul video. Appreciate you. All right, Frixel is going to get us Sting, and we have a Sanctifier on the board now. Is there a Nibiru to punish the Branded Fusion, or did we just get away with that? We did get away with it. All right, yugioh drawing the 5 cards. It's not an unbeatable board, but it is pretty tough. But at least you know about everything. You know Flame, Sting, and Phimena in hand, so you can plan your turn perfectly, I guess. Normal summon Lucius, meaning it is once again Draco Tail. As a reminder, the duelists have a chance to switch the decks to a different one because every duelist has submitted 2 decks today. This confirms that the Secretarion Dragon is pretty strong here because that card is good against Draco Tail. So even if we can use the Phimena here, whatever we summon will not be able to activate. Can they switch every game? Yes. They can pretty much switch whenever they want. Yeah. Ooh, did we declare end of main phase? Are we trying to just attack over the Blazing Cartesia? Seems like it. And we do allow the battle phase. And we have Sting and Flame, if I remember correctly. No Horn. So the Cartesia will be successfully destroyed by battle here, which is 1 potential interruption gone. But at the same time, that board is still pretty big. And we are in main phase 2 now, so can't clear anything by battle. And we resolve Phimena now. No response means we can make our own Secretarion maybe to stop the other stuff, but it looks like we don't have a dragon, and that is really unfortunate. Double Lucius, the only ones to fuse with here. Really awkward hand, it feels like, for yugioh. Also, the only interaction we drew going second was Droll and Lockbird, which is not great in the Draco Tail mirror match. And yeah, I mean, if we had a dragon in hand there, like a Pan or an Urgula, maybe there was a chance, but without a single dragon and a double Lucius, that was not possible. All right, and that is the equalizer. 2 quick games so far in this round 6. And so far, we've seen both players exclusively on Draco Tail. You know, there's no Horn though. Yeah, technically didn't really have a reason to summon the Gulamel in defense, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I think this is one of those things where like you just do it out of habit. You summon in defense, but also it didn't really matter, right? Like it was just known that the other interruptions were too much. All right, and it is time for game 3 between those two Challenger Cup regulars. yugioh going first this time around. Starts things off with Blazing Cartesia. That is a good start if you have 2 Draco Tails in hand. If you have 1 Draco Tail in hand, it is still fine. Abo hits with a Molcharmi Fualos, though, in response to the Cartesia effect, which is usually okay for Draco Tail. Not the biggest problem, I would say. But of course, good to have. Appreciate you, Dverenith. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you. I like regular poly, make Guardian Chimera. I used to play a version of Draco Tail like right after it came out with like the Edge Imp chain package with patchwork and poly. That was really fun, I agree. But it's a little unfortunate that the majority of the cards in that package are spells, which is really not optimal for Draco Tail. They really want to be playing monsters. So I think that's why Cartesia has kind of like established itself as the standard in like pure Draco Tail builds as the way to fuse, because it's got everything going for it, right? It's a monster, it's a quick effect, so even if it gets impermed or veilered, you can use it again on the opponent's turn. If you can leave it on the field, that is also really nice because you can fuse again on the opponent's turn. And it even has the recursion by adding itself back to the hand in the end phase, which is really good because it makes future fusion summons more potent, because you just use Cartesia away for Arthalion and you get a free bounce out of it. So it's a really synergistic card in Draco Tail. Also makes Psychic and Punisher. It can, yeah. Can make Psychic and Punisher because it's a tuner. It's one of the more niche uses of the card, but that is one way, for example, how Draco Tail players... I've seen Draco Tail players out Ligers with Cartesia because they play Psychic and Punisher, which is a neat application for the card for sure. Where do you guys stand on the current Master Duel format? I'm curious because I'm currently thinking about like the Duelist Cup next month, and whether I think Vanquish Soul, Draco Tail, Yami, or Mitsurugi are the best deck, and I'm just like not... I haven't really made a decision yet what I think is the best. I mean, playstyle wise, I like Draco Tail a lot, but I do like Vanquish Soul. But Yami is also really strong, especially when he gets to go first. Play TCG and Duelist Cup at the same time. I haven't made a decision yet for that weekend because there's one or two regionals happening on that weekend that I might need to play for the TCG Worlds points, but I also really want to play the Duelist Cup. I'm not sure yet. I have not made a decision yet. But you will find out firsthand when I decide. When is Duelist Cup again? The second stage is pretty much exactly in 4 weeks. It is the 21st and 22nd of March is the second stages. Plus the Friday, of course. It's that weekend. All right. So despite having the chance to swap decks, both duelists have chosen not to do so. We have Draco Tail from both players in all 3 games. I mean, there's also a chance that they just play different versions of Draco Tail. One is like for game 1, and one is if you lose game 1 and you decide to go first game 2, or vice versa. But seems like both of these players think Draco Tail is the answer to the current Master Duel format. I'm sure we're going to see some other duelists who have other decks prepared, though. I've heard and seen people talk about Vanquish Soul K9 not being as strong as they thought, but I didn't really make that I didn't really make that experience so far personally. I felt like the deck was pretty strong. All right, we have once again a Lucius attacking over the Cartesia. Now we have Ketu Draco Tail hit it with Flame and Ash Blossom to counter the Flame, and that means this Ketu Draco Tail is resolving, and that is powerful. No draw from the Flame, and Ketu is searching and fusion summoning. We are in main phase 2, however, so it's not going to be game this turn. It looks like this is going to develop into a pretty back and forth game 3 here, which is good to see, because game 1 and game 2 were kind of like just pretty decisive wins for the player going first, because they both of them had a pretty good start, and the player going second didn't have the best hand. But this time around, it looks like we are getting into a little bit of a grind game here, because Abu Hamud going second definitely going to be able to establish a board here, fusing Cartesia and Urgula into a Secretarion Dragon in defense position. This is Urgula activating. This is going to force the Sting. I assume this is Sting, right? Did they set Horn or Sting? Let me double check real quick. I was yapping. I was distracted. Oh, it is Horn. It is not Sting. Okay, I would have preferred a Sting. I'm a big Sting believer. I like Sting over Horn a lot of the time. But Horn here, I mean, are you going to bounce your own fusion? You don't want to bounce the Lucius. Yeah, bouncing their own Arthalion just to get the draw out of it. I want to say thank you for the raid the other day. No problem. All right, and we're setting Rahu Draco Tail, which indicates we have more monsters in hand, because at the moment the Urgula cannot add anything back. Activating Secretarion here, which is going to target Urgula and Effect Veiler. That's interesting, because why do you want to get the Urgula out of your grave? I guess we summon it and then it hits the graveyard again later. Like, we can make a Link 2 here and then add the Lucius back. And I like that line, because we're not fusion locked yet. So we can make an SP, which helps us play around Nibiru, or we just make a Birthday. All right, fair enough. And now the Urgula can add the Lucius back to the hand. DGZO has not used the Gulamel to pop yet. However, you cannot do that right now because Secretarion is on the board. That's why having Secretarion going second in the mirror is so strong, because it disables everything they have on the board, basically. Like, Gulamel cannot destroy. Phimena can activate, but whatever you summon with Phimena cannot. So if you summon an Arthalion, that cannot return cards. So usually the best way to counter a Secretarion is to make your own Secretarion, because that effect works, right? Secretarion doesn't negate the effects of your opponent's cards. It just stops them from activating. So that's usually the best one to summon against your opponent's Secretarion. Is Verte actually good in this deck? Yes, it's a pretty strong option. I wouldn't say it's crazy, and you don't always want to make it. Like, for example, in this instance, I may have preferred a SP Little Knight just to be safer against something like Nibiru or Effect Veiler on this Arthalion or something of that nature, right? The Verte is kind of like a high risk, high reward play here, because if it does work, if there is no Nibiru, if there is no Effect Veiler, then the Verte is going to be very, very strong here, because we can still send Branded Fusion and make Mirror Jade or Sanctifier. But I think an SP here would have been also pretty neat. It's kind of a bridge into Draco Tail, isn't it? Not really, because how are you gonna make Verte if you don't have Dracotail plays usually, right? Like, it's technically, yes, if you can get 2 bodies to make Verte, you can get Dracotail engine that way. But how do you... you're playing pure Dracotail. What are those 2 bodies, like, if you don't have Dracotail plays, right? In theory, yes. If you were playing a deck that had like maybe a different deck that just wants to play like a small branded and Dracotail package, there could be a world where you could use Verte as a bridge into Dracotail, sure. But also at the same time, it's a little bit weird to use Verte as a bridge or branded fusion in general, because it only gets you 1 singular Dracotail in rotation, and Dracotail is by nature a deck that is more like a 2 to 3 card combo deck. So if you get, let's say you send Frixel for branded fusion via Verte, you get 1 Ketu, you don't really get very far with that Ketu, right? Like, that doesn't really, you know, you need more Dracotail names in rotation already for that to make sense. Normal summon Frixel. That is a good normal summon. However, it is going to summon a Mululu from the grave that is going to be special summoned, which means it cannot activate because of the Secretarion Dragon. Honestly, it looks like Abo has turned this around pretty well, because I don't really see which kind of hand you'd need to have for DGZO to win this one, because you have to play through an incredible amount of interruption that Abo was able to put up. And I think a lot of it is from one small decision earlier on, which is the fact that we set Horn instead of Sting. Simple as that. I think a Sting instead could have prevented a lot of this. Think about it. When they summon Secretarion by sending Urgula to the graveyard, if you have Sting to banish the Urgula, you prevent a lot of this. Because that Urgula being in the graveyard ended up giving Abo like 3 cards in the long run. Because it allowed the Secretarion to revive Lucius, then make a Link 2 that was Verte. Then the Lucius went back into the hand from the Urgula. That set another trap. Then the Verte got Branded Fusion. Like, it's a long string of events that only happens because we chose Horn over Sting. All right, now we have our own Secretarion. Luckily for Abu Hamud, Mirror Jade is Worm. But Mirror Jade did already activate last turn, correct? We activated Mirror Jade to banish the Gulamel, to put Rindbrum in the graveyard. So actually, this Secretarion in defense mode could pose a problem. Activating Sting. Mululu is the only dragon in the graveyard for DGZO, so if we banish it, that will make the Secretarion unable to activate. And this is an important thing to know about Secretarion Dragon. It is not good enough to chain Sting to whenever Secretarion targets, because the way this card is worded, it says target a dragon and a spellcaster, special summon one and place the other on the bottom of the deck. If you banish one of the targets, this card still resolves and brings back the other target. So let's say Secretarion targets Frixel and Mululu, and then you sting the Mululu, you can still revive the Frixel. Because the revive is the first part of the effect. Which is why Abo chose to sting before the Secretarion was even able to activate. Ooh, we have a clutch Ash Blossom on the Rahu, and that is the game. Ash Blossom Ash Blossom single-handedly deciding 2 out of 3 games this match. It is what it is. Big Ash Blossom. And with that, Abu Hamud wins and goes on to 4-2. Not sure if that's going to be good enough to make top 16, but we will see later. Let me see what the score is. I'm just checking the Battle 5 bracket real quick to see who to watch. Let's see. Matrix is current. They are 4-1. So the winner of this match is pretty much guaranteed in top 16. And the loser might be eliminated. So let me just check what the score is between Matrix and Panda wins 1. Okay, I can't see every single one. But it looks like Panda has at least 1 win, but it might also be game 3. All right, which means Matrix is gonna go first this game. Primite Lordly Load. Okay, what is this? Blue Eyes? Odeon? What are we working with here? Ooh, Link 1. I think that's Blue Eyes. I did not expect to see Blue Eyes at 4-1. But here we are. We go Wishes. We don't get Ashed on it. We have Majesty as well as Sage. Activate Mausoleum. Extra normal summon for Sage. We get a Maiden of White. And True Light from the deck. Such a shame we haven't had an opportunity to get a second copy of this Blue Eyes so far. I'm really looking forward to getting more copies of this one because it looks so good. Oh, technology. Okay, we're drawing a card and then we make Baron. I see. Okay. Love drawing cards. We pop Lordly Load with Baron so we have enough space to set all of our cards because we've drawn that many traps. Okay. I see you. Ooh. Uh-oh. Evenly matched. Successfully negated. That was scary. Second one? No second one. Okay. Thrust, however. Uh-oh. 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 Ah, we have Drill Beam. Drill Beam gets dropleted. Goodbye, Blue Eyes board. Oh, God. All right, what did we have? Oh, my God. Solemn Judgment. You had Solemn Judgment and Skill Drain. Why didn't you use Solemn? Oh, it's Luna Light. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Why? That was so risky, using the Drill Beam instead of the Solemn Judgment on Harpy's Feather Duster. That was so risky. Okay, you know what? To be fair, if this is a dedicated blind second deck in Master Duel, you have a consideration to make because Drill Beam loses to Droplet, but Solemn Judgment loses to Red Reboot, right? Which is a card in blind second decks in Master Duel for sure. So it's not like it's always safer to activate Solemn Judgment instead of Drill Beam, because if you get hit with Reboot, which is definitely a card that people are playing in Master Duel right now, for sure, right? For sure. Well, Reboot is at 2 while Droplet is at 3. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'm just saying there is some reason to play around Reboot. Because also, here's another thing. They already had a chance to Droplet in response to the Baron on the Evenly, right? If they wanted to bait out the Drill Beam. So maybe you make the read like, oh, they didn't have Droplet because they may have Dropleted when they activated Evenly, right? Somehow fumbled the second Liger, don't worry about it. I mean, I didn't. I was more. I was amazed by that feather duster, so I didn't pay that close of attention to this. But at the same time, I doubt it matters. I doubt it matters in this game state. Banish the True Light with SP as well. And this is just... Okay, yeah, we don't have a Leo Dancer in rotation here. I see. Yeah, okay. Fine. I mean... And this means... This means, I think, that we have a Luna Light in top 16. Right? Yeah, Luna Light is 5-1. That should be guaranteed. I mean, the game is technically not over yet, but realistically, it should be. Can Blue Eyes even in theory out one? What would in theory be like? Let's say they had more cards and they could do something. Could they have outed a Liger Dancer with Blue Eyes? Magia? Okay, if they play Magia, that can out it. Tyrant plus the boost from Field Spell. In general, right, the Field Spell can get something to 3,800, right? If you have a Blue Eyes, one Blue Eyes on the field, one in the deck, you can send it, make 38. Make it 3,800 and then attack over. Okay. Well, that was exciting. That duster went hard. Okay. Let me check the score for Luvacy and Dark. Both of these are also 4-1. All right, let's go. I don't know what the score is between them though. I should have checked. Lost. It's 1-0 for Dark right now. Why are they going first then? All right, we see the first yummy of the day. Hit with a Drollin Lockbird after the Cupsy search, which means we cannot make Cupsy Yummy Way, which is annoying. Herald of Arclight. Sorrow Cat. Ooh, Sorrow Cat makes me think it's Yummy Mitsu. Sorrow Cat makes me think it's Yummy Mitsu, which is hit a lot harder by Drollin Lockbird than regular Yummy. It still is a strong opener. SP banished the Droll. Ooh, we got Izuna. Ah, but Izuna doesn't really do anything against SP. Also against Herald. Izuna just does nothing here in general. Izuna, no effect. Let's go. Alright, it's got attack points. You know, we can attack over one of these. Attack over Arclight. And Arclight does search Habakiri. Oh no, Mitsurugi Ritual. Okay. And it is Vanquish Soul against Yummy. But that is not a good position for Vanquish Soul here going second. Already basically got full comboed. We know there's Mitsurugi follow-up in hand. And I don't know if you're gonna play through all of this. Droplet, send the field spell to negate the Raisin. See, if this was main phase 1, I would say maybe it's okay, but it is not main phase 1. It is main phase 2. Talents to take. Not bad. But is it good enough? If you take Cookie here, can you activate it? I think so, right? I think if they took Cookie, they could have used it. Tribute summon Jiaolong, 2 fires in hand. Add Vanquish Soul start. Hold on a second. Oh wait, never mind. There's the SP to banish the Jiaolong. And there's Typhon, which you know what that means. You know what that means. Jiaolong can search. But I don't think this is going to be enough. Because we know there's 2 fires in hand. So even if you search Holly Sue, you do not have a dark. And we don't even need we don't even need the Mitsurugi stuff, it seems like. Is this game, even if the Jiaolong changes something to defense? No, it's not. They survive here, okay. Sure. I mean, they survive, but realistically, how are they going to come back? Here's Habakiri. They barely even had a chance against the Yummy cards, and now there's all the Mitsurugi cards in the world flying across the table. That's not good. I mean, yeah, you might as well Ash this if they're summoning from deck. They have prayers too. So Luvacy, if you're in chat right now, what is the score in this match? Because Dark went first, so I assume they lost a game before this one. Is this game 2 or game 3? It is game 3? Okay. Thanks for the info, but also that means that is bad news for you. Because I think that is going to establish Dark in the top 16. And I think unless they get lucky with tiebreakers, I think that means we're gonna have to say goodbye to Luvacy. Because all of the X1s are guaranteed. I think we might see 1 or 2 X2s make it, but not many. Typhon tries to attack over SP Little Knight in a desperate attempt to stay in this game. But Snatchy activates. Gonna make Cookie Yamiway probably. Yep. Flip it face down. Actually, no, it can't activate. Hold. It can't activate because it's too big because of the field spell. Typhon claims a victim. The Cookie can't activate and the SP gets destroyed. Is there a comeback here? I don't think so. They have the Mitsurugi trap face down. Okay, Zeus with 1 material. All right. Activate case. But now the Cookie activates. I see what you were trying to do, but I don't think... What's the last card in hand? Is the last card in hand? Is the last card in hand not Raisin? Because I think what they were trying to do is summon Zeus, and then when they negate with Great Purification, right? That negates and destroys. So you can Zeus to get a second material and then wipe the board, which gives you a win con, which I think in theory is smart. But if you do that, you have to make sure that you play a card next that they have to negate, right? And Case for Canine was not that card. Like, let's think this through, okay? You have the Typhon on the board still, and then you make Zeus. If you normal summon Raisin next, in the column of the cookie, I think that might do it. Because then they might be forced to negate it with the trap, and then the Raisin gets destroyed, and then you wipe the board with Zeus, and then you case for Lantern. I mean, it's still not over though. Somehow. Oh, it's over. Do we know the last set? Is it surprise? No, surprise is gone. Is it prayers? And now you just get double booked. Because Cookie is back in the extra deck and can activate. Now it's over. Maybe you can somehow... No, you can't. There's no way you survive this. 2,600 life points. They still got Snatchy in the extra deck. Yeah, no. I think this was winnable last turn, because they did the thing where they summoned the Cookie into the Typhon and you attacked successfully over the SP. I think if you just activate Case before you make Zeus, that helps a lot. Because then when you activate Case and Typhon is still on the board, they cannot tag out with the Cookie because it's 3,100. So they can't do that in response to the Case. So you successfully resolve Case to search Lantern. Then you make Zeus. And then you normal summon Raisin. I think that's the order of operations. And I think then, I don't know what the face down is, but then I think you might win. Okay, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. All right. That was a good game. That was an interesting game. All right. We have only about 20 seconds left on the round, so any game we would join now is likely to just end in overtime. But that is okay. That was the last round of Swiss, so I will be back with you in just a moment once we have the confirmed top 16 bracket, and then we are playing for the big stuff. Then we are in the top 16 KO system, and we're gonna find our top 4 duelists that will qualify for the Challenger Cup finals. So stay tuned. The break is going to be relatively short because the players are already in overtime now. So we will be back in just a few minutes with the top 16. So don't go anywhere. Hope you're enjoying the show so far, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, what's up, duelists? Right now we're waiting for the top 16 bracket to be finalized, and they said it's going to be another couple of minutes, so I figured instead of just having the break screen running, we might as well, I don't know, jump into a ranked game or something, because I don't want the break to be too long. But yeah, let's play some ranked. Maybe we can hit Master 1 even. I don't know, we're not in 10 minutes, but new card react. We can do that after the Challenger Cup. That one I want to be a separate thing because I don't know exactly how long that'll take, and I don't know when exactly the next round is going to start. I want to do that after. All right, we're going to start with Raisin. Let's go. We're the best. We have Raisin and Noroi, though. Which one do I normal summon? I do have Stake Your Soul already for Jiaolong. I guess we can see if that goes through first. It does go through. Okay. Then I think we should normal summon. We should probably normal summon Noroi. The only problem is if I get Holisu here, I do not have a dark if the Noroi gets interrupted. Let me think. Holisu. I could just get Field Spell and decide later which attribute I want. That sounds reasonable. If I get rolled here, is that bad? No, it's probably okay. Did you add back more K9 cards to Vanquish Soul? This is a more standard build of K9 Vanquish Soul, yeah. Grab Izuna. Lantern for Noroi. Lantern for Case. Ace for a dark. Now, here's the thing. I could look at their hand with Noroi, but at the same time, I don't want to send Case for it because I want to pop Case with... I want to pop Case with the Masquerade. I can send Lantern. Okay, LZ, Deception, Slumber, and Woes. All right. Both LZ, Deception. Okay, 2 traps. Josh is playing in it? No, I'm just what's it called? I'm just vibing and playing in between because we're waiting for top 16 right now. Because they are waiting a moment for the standings to be finalized, and I didn't want the break to be too long, so we're just playing a little bit. Thank you, Goops. Appreciate that. get the quick play spell as well. Misa Zori, thank you so much for that as well. Appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. I'm glad you're enjoying the content as much. All right, here's Raisin. This is pretty much the best opener we could have had, with the only exception, but this is a very, very advanced complaint, is that we drew the trap card. We technically would have gotten it for free, but yeah, not something to complain about at all. Yeah. Stake your nose. Any ideas on the Duelist Cup deck? Like I said earlier, I haven't decided yet whether I'm gonna play the Duelist Cup or attend TCG regionals on that weekend, because I really want to play the Duelist Cup, but I also might need the points for the TCG Worlds grind. But if I am playing, I would 99% sure I'd be playing Vanquish Soul or Draco Tail. Okay. I don't think we can beat this deck, because I always go second against it somehow. And somehow they always negate all of my cards. I don't know how they do it. I'm still standing. Wait, did you get into top 16? Because I saw the standings and you were like 18th or something. No, you were 21st. Why did I not Fuwa? I got distracted. Quantal distracted me. I was looking at my second monitor. Oh man. Well, we got one draw. That should have been two. Ah, nice. Thank you, Fuwa. Yeah, this is not gonna be pleasant. The hand is good, but it's just they're just negating too many of my cards, I feel like. Ace negated. Stake negated. Raisin negated. What do you want me to do, man? Okay, man, it's all right. This deck, dude. All right. Good hand for going first. I'm glad I'm not going second with it. Would not have been the best. I think I'll start with Case, because Case is better if I get rolled. Whereas Mad Love is not that good if I get rolled. I think I just go for Jokul. It's still not pleasant. Okay, they do have Droll. It's still not pleasant. Maybe I should have gotten an Earth for the trap. Maybe it was Izuna. Maybe I should have gotten Izuna. Because now I still don't really know. Jokul into a rank 5? I should have started with Case, but I should not have grabbed Jokul, I think. Mad Love Bounce needs Darkened Earth, yeah. I should have grabbed Izuna. That was my bad. Didn't think about it long enough. Impulse will get Izuna. Maybe. I would have to get very lucky with the impulse search. So I draw 2, discard 1. I could get all 3 attributes together with this. It's possible. If I get lucky. Because I can draw 2, discard 1, and then I can add 1 back with rock. That's tough. Yeah, I think I win this easily if I go for Izuna instead of Jokul. That was really my bad. Okay. Take it. I have no idea. What we're waiting for right now, by the way, is the top 16 to start. And the thing is that this tournament, like I said earlier, this tournament qualifies you for the Challenger Cup finals that is happening next month in Paris. The top 4 players of this tournament will qualify. So right now what they're doing is they're making sure that the people that made top 16 are able to attend. And if they're not able to attend, they still get their prizes, but the spot can go to someone. They'll basically hand it down in the standings to the next person that could attend. So they're trying to find out, like, hey, you made top 16, but you wouldn't be able to attend the finals. So you still get your prizes for making top 16. But they're gonna let the next person play in the thing. So that's what we're waiting for right now. Sorting all that out. They're flying people to Paris for the finals. The Challenger Cup finals every year so far has been an invitational thingy. In person. Last year too. It was really fun. Okay. This hand is also really good. Same question as last time. Do I just start with Mad Love? Because if I get rolled, it's not that pleasant. I could start with Case. Yeah, this time I think it's Case for Jokul because I already have a Zuna. No, it's Case. I would also rather have the Case get ashed than the Mad Love get ashed if they have it. Yeah, perfect. Are you on Saryuja? I think so. Yeah, I do have Saryuja. Rescue Ace Impulse. Okay. Looks like we're playing a mirror match. That's based. Is there a case for Izuna into Ripper right now to keep a hand effect in check? I thought about it, but I like keeping the attribute in hand for Holy Suit take right now, and I didn't want to activate their Izuna before I have Mad Love on the board. Because now that I have Mad Love on the board, I can counter their Lupus by returning it with Mad Love. If I just start with the Izuna, they might just go, they might pop off with the Izuna immediately, right? That was my thought process. See, they do have Izuna. I think they do have Izuna. Yeah. Lupus is very small defense, yeah. Yeah, Lupus does nothing here. I guess they're hoping I don't have an Earth in hand, but I do. They're down, okay. Yeah, then I guess I'll play with this. Yeah, it's very important I kept the Izuna in hand there, I think. The only thing I have to consider now... Oh, okay. I was about to say, the only thing left to consider on that turn was whether I should have played into Nibiru or played around it. But I think there was a way to make Ripper on 5. Josh is playing. I thought he was spectating. Well, I'm just playing ranked right now. This is not the tournament. We're waiting for the top 16 to start. Is all. Oh, well, that's a going second hand. Good thing I lost the coin toss. Tengenjin. Sure. I have a feeling that my Molcharmies are good in this matchup. But I do kind of need a draw. I don't really have a play like... I'm not sure if I want to... I mean, I do have Izuna that's live, to be fair. Okay, we resolved one. I'm not going to use both. Not yet, at least. Because if I use both, they will stop guaranteed. It's Orchest. It could be. Millennium Fiendsmith Orchest is a popular version of the deck, I think. They have a droll. They do have droll. It's better for me to do this now, because otherwise they will, of course, I mean, they will self droll no matter what, and it doesn't look like they're stopping right now. Oh, they are stopping. Okay, well, let's go Izuna. Oh, they have max C. That's not good. I have to bring it back. If I don't bring it back, I have no play next turn from what I have now. Oh, but the thing is, if they keep playing, I draw 2 cards per summon, so I think it's fine. Set monster is good to see. Okay. I'm not going to exceed here. Draw another Izuna for turn. That is pretty bad. But still, Ripper should be good here. Attach Lupus. Get Lantern first or Yoko. Maybe it's Case, but then if I get drolled, I have to negate the droll. I would negate the droll anyways. Lantern for Lupus. Maybe it's Noroi. Add Lantern. Look at hand. It is Orchest. 3 Orchest cards in hand. Okay. Can I go for game here somehow? I am locked into K9 right now. I'll have to make Jack. How does Jax work with Werewolf again? A K9 that has material doubles battle damage, but only if they activated an effect in hand or grave, which they haven't. Cannot be destroyed by monster effect. It should still be game. I'm not dealing double damage with this one, but I don't need to. Because of the, I mean, this would have been 8,000 anyways with these two still attacking. Yeah. All right, one more win and we rank up. Oh, I'm just getting word our top 16 has started. So, gonna try to make this one quick and then we can start watching. Yeah, this hand is very good. Start with Jokol, reveal Holisu. Should have maybe used Perulia just in case it's like a K9 mirror. Let's Jokol for Lantern. Ripper summon 5. Yeah, I know they just started. I just missed the announcement. But it's fine. We'll be there in a second. Grab Izuna. Make rock. Add back this, then reveal 2. Add burger. I mean, this is quite literally everything. Start at Valius. Lantern on Jokul. Lantern for Case. Case for another Jokul for next turn. Nash Knight. Nash Knight. Masquerade. Pop Case. Set Quick Play. Draw one. Come on, man. And then discard 2 for hand size. Okay, which one's the least important? It might be Maxi. No, I think it's Madlove. Alright, let's show them at the start of the turn. Here you go. Oop. No, don't even leave me! They're gonna make this... What, dude? We might miss like the first 2 games of top 16 or something because of this. Sure, man. Is it man or blue eyes? Oh, it's neither? I think it tries to summon Dragoon with this. Go Drill Beam it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it definitely tries to summon Dragoon. All right. Nice evenly. Okay. Sorry. We missed some of the top 16 because I didn't realize it started, but we did rank up, so it was worth it. Let's hurry back to the room. Hold up. Let me get the spectate ID. Here we go. And then we jump into the room. Okay. Why don't we watch my guy Quantal? Agorni against Quantal. Let me see what the score is. Is this already? Yes, Quantal is up 1 game. Okay. Quantal is up 1 game in this top 16. All right. That means Agorni is going to go first in game 2. We're going to start things off with the Molcharmi Purulia on our own turn to play around Izuna a little bit, and then we normal summon Kapsi Yummy. And we have a battle of the Molcharmis here. Molcharmi Fualos versus... Ooh, it's Mitsuyami, not just Mitsu. That means this Fualos is actually very important. Saji grabs Mitsurugi Ritual, so that is the first draw already for the Fuwa. But we are going to summon the Habakiri from hand now, and then we can summon the Murakumo from the graveyard with the Mirror. That is going to give no further draws into the Fualos. But we do have a Druis Worm that is massive on the Murakumo. Do we even have a way to resolve? We drop with the Purulia though, that's funny. But we don't have a way to resolve the Mirror. Quantal back up to 5 cards in hand, but still not the worst opener for Mitsurugi, I would say. Gonna shuffle Fuwa back into the deck with Lollipo. Gonna activate Prayers, Tribute Murakumo, Habakiri. Search Futsu, take 800, bring back Saji, activate Habakiri in the grave, Mirror as well. Goes back into the deck, probably because we want the trap card. Yep, there it is. And then we are also going to commit into IP Masquerena, another draw, but honestly, I was about to say a really strong end board, but the Nibiru, the Nibiru also hits hard here. We draw another card for the Purulia. Purulia on our own turn gave us 2 draws. That's something, all right. Mad Love, so we have Vanquish Soul, gets hit with an Ash Blossom. Surely that's not all there is to it. We have Borger. Borger attempts to draw a card. Succeeds. Battle phase. Ooh, okay. No K9s going on. Surprise. Bring back Cupsy just to block the Nibiru attack. We're going to search Marshmallow for follow-up. Nibiru runs over the Cupsy. Sure, we maintain some life total. Set 2 pass. Honestly, was expecting more from the Vanquish Soul deck, but maybe it's based and doesn't play many K9s. Draw another card for Borger. Love that. And then we start things off with Marshmallow here. Activate Marshmallow. Add back Surprise. Link 1 into Snatchy. We already have the field spell. Special Cupsy. Activate Cupsy to search a cookie. This is a scary turn. Face down, pre-prep, search Mirror. Uh-oh. But the question is Murakumo a one-of? Because it is banished. Mirror, Chain, Snow Devil, Dogoran, Mad Love, Lupus. All 3 attributes. Chain Snatchy, whatever you synchro into here will be destroyed. But maybe it is good to have a synchro in the grave that you can bring back with Surprise. It is Cupsy Yummy Way. Are we gonna special? I guess we special the Mad Love. Yeah, why not? And then we also destroy this Cupsy Yummy Way. Yep, and the Nibiru. Mirror is going to resolve. I wonder what the reasoning was for chaining the trap to the Mirror. Here's Futsu. Mad Love is gonna activate. The set future. Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. There was... I forgot that we knew that there was the trap face down because they searched it turn 1, but didn't have a ritual on the board after the Nibiru. Right. Yeah, good point. Good point. That is exactly the reason. All right, normal summon Molcharmi Fualos. Probably plays Almirage. Do we maybe have the attributes for Madlove to return the Fualos back to the hand? Because that is currently the lowest defense. We do have that. We reveal Lantern and Lupus. So it's not that Quantal isn't playing the K9 package. We just haven't drawn the good half of it. We've drawn Lupus and Lantern, but no Izuna or Jokul. I see. Gotta practice that for the Duelist Cup. Alright, we are forced to extend with Yummy Surprise here. Bring back Snatchy. Had all 3 attributes earlier. Yeah, but one of them was the Madlove. That's why I wasn't sure they still had a Dark, because they revealed the Dark for the trap and then summoned Madlove, so that Dark was technically missing. Lollipop brings back Cupsy and Cookie. And now here is where it's a little bit weird that we spent the Cupsy Yummy way earlier without using its effect to search, because that would have been a nice one to make. But I guess we might not need it. We do have a pretty big board already and the trap to back things up as well. But if we can't finish the game this turn, then I think there's a chance Quantal comes back into this, because we know... I mean, the cards in hand are not the strongest that we know of, but at the same time, Lantern can be a pretty strong extender. We have Dogoran to tribute the Yummy Synchro, and we only have 2,800 life points. And yeah, Quantal is going to survive this battle phase. Oh, actually? Yeah, it's still... Yeah, we survived that. That's 2,000 extra damage. This Habakiri cannot attack. Futsu is gonna get a search, however. It looks like Agorni is playing a smaller Mitsurugi package without Kusanagi, which is honestly one of the reasons why Quantal is still in this game. Is because there seems to be no way to add the Murakumo back from the banished pile. Alright, SP Little Knight with 2... Okay, no effect on this one. Didn't even spend like a Linkaribo or something. I guess they might not play Linkaribo. Linking SP and Habakiri into Sprite Elf. Alright, we've got double Yummy Synchro setup. We've got Sprite Elf that can bring back SP Little Knight. Or IP Masquerena, but I don't know what the IP Masquerena still make. I guess Dynamondo maybe is in there. Futsu. It's weird to play. Isn't it weird to play Futsu, but no Kusanagi and Aramasa? I feel like you either see both or neither, right? Like, I've seen people play a small package. Ooh, Dogoran Tribute Futsu. Do we have Ash for it? Or why are we tributing that one? No. Okay. I guess it does make it so they have activated an effect in the graveyard, so we can now use K9 cards. But right now, even though we are dangerously low in life points with 2000... Oh, it gives a second card in hand. That's smart. Now Noroi can normal summon, because beforehand it couldn't. That's nice. I'm still not sure if this is enough to push through this board, because this board is a lot. If it's back, I mean, it's backed up by the counter trap. It's backed up by the yummy effects. It might be possible. I also don't know what the face down is for Quantal. But at this point, it seems hard to get a Vanquish Soul onto the board. Because we've normal summoned Noroi. Cards in hand, Wood, Lupus, Lantern. Alright, the Snatchy slowly but surely getting them closer to 0 life points. 1900 left. Maybe one small attack and a Burger Burn can squeeze the game. Quantal playing the Fire Kaiju. A lot of Vanquish Soul lists and Master Duel right now are playing some sort of like weird fire tech, because you just don't have enough fire monsters with 2 Raisin and 2 Jiaolong. I've been playing the Rescue Aces, but those are 4 slots. Not everyone wants to do that, so I've seen some people play like 1 or 2 of the Kaijus, or even some people have been playing the Pluton, the other Fire Vanquish Soul. All right, here's Cookie turning them both face down, which is good because it also means the Lantern can't revive those, but we did put Jokul into the graveyard. So we are going to use the trap on this. And now the question is, can we continue? Can we push through? We have Izuna. No, we have Lupus in hand, but that alone will not do it. We chain the Lupus anyways. That prompts the Lollipo to tag out. Brings back Cookie and Marshmallow. Cookie is going to pop the Lupus before it can do anything. It will also get banished from this. Marshmallow is going to guarantee follow-up by adding back Surprise. I mean, not like follow-up is what decides this game. I feel like this game either ends this turn by Quantal somehow pushing the last bit of damage, or Agorni wins next turn anyways. All right, GG's. That was an exciting game, and that is game 2 only. We are heading into a game 3 between these two. Go back to watch game 1. Okay, we can quickly, if it's still in the list of replays, we can quickly watch game 1, but I'll fast forward it. Game 1 is peak. All right, I'll watch it. Quantal goes first. Oh, game 1. Ah, okay. I see. We swapped to Vanquish Soul because we're playing Mitsu as our first deck. All right, I see you. A strong hand for Mitsuyami. Holy. Look at this hand. Pre-prep, Haba, Futsu, Marshmallow. Oh, wait. Wait. What are you doing? What does this mean? What does this mean? $4,500. No. No. Well, I guess I'm not even surprised anymore that Habakiri can do this. Dude, I looked at the opponent's hand and I was like, oh, that's a good hand for going second. I wonder how this game is gonna go. Oh man. That's your hero? Dude, worlds changed, Quantal. All right, Ash on the Molcharmi is a good start to game 3 for Quantal. Normal summon Lamia. Oh no, not again. Not again. Not a second time. He got sent first? No, it's because Quantal lost game 2. He can decide who goes first in game 3. So, if I saw this correctly, this basically only takes one main deck slot, right? Because you need the rank up card. The rest is all extra deck. But realistically, in Mitsurugi, extra deck doesn't really matter, right? Like, even if it's a lot of extra deck space, because there was a lot of weird things in there, but like, Mitsurugi just doesn't need it. But it's okay, guys. Habakiri is at 2 next week. Don't worry. You shall not fear. Well, let's see if it works a second time. I still think this is Gimmick Puppet's fault. I mean, it is kind of both. It is, to be fair, it is kind of both. It is Habakiri doing all the work, but Gimmick Puppet existing is also a necessity for this, 100%. There it is, rank 8. Yeah, why does this card not need 2 Gimmick Puppets? Ooh, we got Imperm. Do we survive? Never mind. Never mind. So you just opened Habakiri, Reboot, Ash Blossom for the Reboot for Imperm, Ash Blossom for Fuba, and Habakiri access. All right, noted. Noted. I already know if I'm playing the Duelist Cup, that this is gonna happen to me more than once over the course of that weekend. I already know it. This will happen. It's all dark too, right? Nothing conflicts with impulse. I mean, okay, the Gallic, this one is light, but do you need to activate this? No, right? All right. Yeah, well, Quantal wins. And yeah. Okay, is there any other game still going on, or was that the last one? I think it may be the last one before we move on to top 8. You should try this in Rated. Those were some good games, don't you agree? Dude. What can I say? That's my captain. Oh, man. All right. Well, that was the top 16 gamers. The most exciting round is yet to come. We have top 8 coming up, which is going to decide which 4 players are going to earn a spot in Paris for the finals. So the next one is the most important round of the tournament. We'll be on a very short break before it starts. The break should definitely not be as long as the one before top 16. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the top 8 duels in just a moment. All right, like I said, this break a lot shorter than the previous one. Our top 8 have just started. And once again, I repeat, this is the most important round of the day because the top 4 duelists are going to qualify for the in-person finals in Paris happening next month. So we're going to jump into Careful Guy against Tom. Tom, if I'm not mistaken, is your second place TCG World Championship from last year, Tom Kleinegräber. But we'll be going second here against Careful Guy. All right, let's see. We have a pre-preparation of rights. Let's see if it's another Mitsurugi that wins on turn 1. Searches Habakiri, activates Habakiri, and we have no Molcharmi either. Looking like a good start here for the Mitsurugi duelist. I guess what's left to find out is it pure Mitsurugi or is it a variation? Summon Habakiri by tributing Aramasa and Kusanagi. That already indicates a bigger Mitsurugi package. We search Futsu as well. Ritual, Tribute, summon Murakumo from the deck, activate Habakiri Engrave, and now we're live. Prayers tribute Futsu. Are we gonna see are we gonna see a gimmick puppet rank 8 in a second? We are searching another level 4 monster. That's scary. Let's see. First, we activate Mirror. Bring back Futsu. That's going to trigger Murakumo in the graveyard. We have a prayer set up already for the opponent's turn in case anything goes wrong, I suppose. And now... Uh-oh. I'm scared. Oh, it's Photon Lord. Oh, it's Photon Lord. Whew. And we hit him with an IP Masquerena alt art from the new thingy. That's cool. Set 2, set 3. 4. Alright, still a really strong opener to be fair. We didn't win the game on the first turn, but we did still make a pretty strong board. Let's see what Tom is playing. Book of Eclipse. Oh, is Tom a Lunalight duelist again? I mean, I guess you just Photon Lord. I know you. We have Ash for this. Okay. I mistook Photon Lord for number 38 there for a second. It's a good Ash on the Book of Eclipse. We did this in the draw phase, so Talents is not a concern yet. And it is Lunalight. Okay. Lunalight Gold Leo is the normal summon. I mean, if there's anyone who can break this board with Lunalight, it is Tom. Got second at Worlds with Lunalight. So Gold Leo gets negated by Photon Lord. We still have a ton of stuff to go through though. And only 4 cards in hand. We make Almirage, which to me indicates that there is a Lunalight Perfume in hand, because we really want that Gold Leo in the graveyard apparently. Utsu brings back Kusanagi. We're not bringing back Murakumo yet, because it's not worth destroying the Almirage. And we have a Prayers for next turn. I mean, this is very... Oh, Tiger is the card we have, not Perfume. Alright, activate Tiger. Try to bring back Gold Leo. This doesn't threaten all that much. It threatens SP, but not much else. Can someone explain the IP, SP, and WP combo? Yes, you do go IP into WP, and then you use an opponent's Link Monster to make SP. With the WP effect. Which actually would be possible here for Careful Guy if they play WP. I'm not sure if that's made its way into Mitsurugi decks, but it could. Oh, there it is. We're fancy balling. Okay, WP fancy ball. And then we use it. Now, Tom can chain Almirage here to dodge this, right? Ooh, but we don't use the Almirage. We go Dynamondo. Okay, that's also neat, because now we have the on-field effect for this card instead. That also works. They can't respond with Link. Right, but they could have used it like on summon. They could have quick effect tributed the Almirage to prevent them from linking it off, right? Because they are turn player. They do have turn player priority for this. Oh, there's a heavy polymerization added to the hand. That needs to be negated by the trap. Reboot? No. No reboot. All right. Heavy poly was the only way back in it, but it was negated. And so Tom loses game one here. And Careful Guy is one step closer to the finals in Paris. Also, since the big prize for this tournament is the invitation to the finals in Paris once you get to top 4, and the pricing is all the same for all the top 4 players, the tournament ends after the top 8. They are just playing for the top 4 spots, and then it's done. All right, this time around, it's going to be Tom going first. Actually, the score is now reversed because they switched sides. All right, let's see if Lunalight can mount a comeback here. I will say, Mitsurugi is one of the harder matchups for Lunalight that Tom could have gotten in top 8. You know, Lunalight would much rather play against Draco Tail or Yami, I feel like. Normal summon Gold Leo, that definitely plays. We grab Yellow Martin, and we discard Yellow Martin. Okay, no Silverhound, which is usually what you see in these spots, but Martin also does work. How does Mitsu out Liger? With rank 4s, you have a couple of options. You can go Light Dragon add Ignister first to prevent the board wipe effect. And then you can use Dugaris to like double your attack points and stuff like that. So there is ways for Mitsurugi to out it. Also, some pure Mitsurugi decks have been playing Wosu, which is the in-engine kaiju. So I think overall, Mitsurugi has a decent time into Liger Dancer. Of course, it's never easy to out 2 Ligers, but it's possible with Mitsu, especially if Molchami Fuwalos resolves, but there's an Ash Blossom. All right, so Ash Blossom doing its thing, and now Careful Guy is gonna have 1 less card available to stop any of this. Ooh, Kaleido Chick sends a Lunalight Wolf. And Gold Leo did not add it back. Because we already did that. Interesting. Masquerade and now Polly. I wonder why we sent Wolf to the graveyard if we already have used Gold Leo effect to add back. Maybe we forgot? What's the other way to add this back from the grave? Maybe M7? Or Black Sheep, yeah. All right, Perfume Dancer is going to try to search Perfume, and Kaleido Chick adds back Polymerization from the grave. We can also revive it with Perfume and then bounce it back with Dancer, yeah. True. Maybe that is the line here. Activate Perfume. Target. No, we bring back Kaleido Chick for now. Discard Silverhound for cost. Gets ashed on Perfume. Okay, that was a very patient Ash Blossom. Used it very late, but you do not get to interact. We had Called By and Ash Blossom and Gold Leo. All right. It is, in fact, Tom's turn. This could have gone very differently if you think about it, right? Because if we had used Ash instead of Fuva on the Silverhound, maybe Tom would have Called By'd it and then had no Ash available for the Fuva because it was under Called By. It's a small and niche thing, but sometimes you wanna... Oh, the Ash was chain blocked with Gold Leo. Okay, never mind. But sometimes, the point still stands, sometimes when you have Ash and Fuva, even though Called By is at 1, you can try to bait Called By first on Ash, and then the Fuva cannot get Ash. But yeah, happens very rarely. There's a second Perfume Dancer, so I think the line is gonna involve M7 to add back the... Yeah, to add back the Wolf. How does chain blocking work? It's a concept in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where sometimes certain cards or effects have to be activated directly in response to what they're trying to negate. For example, Ash Blossom has to be chained directly to what you're trying to negate. So if you can build a chain in a way that, like, let's say in this example, right, it was Silverhound in the grave to summon from deck, chainlink 1, chainlink 2 Gold Leo to add 1 from grave to hand. In that scenario, you cannot use Ash Blossom on Silverhound because it's too far down the chain. Because Ash Blossom would have to be activated directly in response to Silverhound. Alright, we got Gallant Granite for Nibiru. Am I tripping, or is this still double Liger, or is it just one? No, it is double Liger, I think. The last card in hand is Wolf. Yeah. It is double Liger. Because we still haven't used Masquerade to add back Poly. So we can do one with Wolf and then one with Poly after. Discard Ash Blossom because it's undercalled by the grave. Makes sense. And now we go Wolf. But why an attack? Because we're linking it off anyways, I think. Alright, and there's the first one. Use Liger Dancer number 1. That's going to trigger Cross Sheep. We're going to get back Kaleido Chick. And then also Masquerade activates to get back Poly. And then we discard a card so that the Poly is basically now Miracle Fusion. We discard the Nibiru. We don't think we need it. And once again, Mitsurugi can out Liger Dancers. The problem is here because 2 of their cards already got negated with Ash and Called by the Grave. They just don't have that many cards to work with, right? They're like, maybe your deck has the capabilities of outing 1 or 2 Ligers, but can you do it with just 4 cards? That's the other question. Because it's not going to be just Liger. There's also SP Little Knight. And there's also a spell negation from the Silverhound in the graveyard. So how, like, that might just be too much. There's the second one. And remember, the card in Tom's hand he thought was better than Nibiru. Here's pre-prep. That's a good one. Oh. Wait, that's undercalled by, isn't it? Yeah, I think we should have kept Nibiru. It happens to the best of us, alright? It happens to the best of us. Alright, here's the big question. Is there Wosu in the deck? There is Wosu in the deck. Hold up, this might actually do it. This might actually do it. The tides have turned because we didn't keep Nibiru in hand. Instead, we kept an Ash Blossom and used it while undercalled by the grave. And there is Wosu in the deck, and we resolved pre-prep. It's once per turn. It is once per turn, the Wosu, but it's not that hard to survive 1 turn with Mitsu against Liger and then do it again next turn. It is possible. Because that's the name of the game now. The name of the game now is survive one turn and Vosu again, and then you win. Because right now, Lunalight is out of extra deck. 4 cards left in extra deck. There's basically nothing left. There's a little bit of fodder for Liger Dancer to destroy the field, but that's it. Haggard Lizardos to draw a card. It's funny to me because you always see Haggard Lizardos in Malice, but it's a really good card in a reptile deck, right? It's just a link to that says draw a card by banishing 1 card from your grave, which is really good. But it's just because Malice doesn't have any reptiles that it never gets to be used for that. Alright, here's Magatama. Activate Ritual. Do we have Silverhound? We do have Silverhound, right? Yeah, we do have a Silverhound spell Trap Negate. The good news in this case for Tom is that because Wosu locks into reptiles, we cannot actually make Dugaris this turn to out the second Liger. I don't think there is a way to out the second Liger this turn. You just have to survive a turn somehow now against this Liger, which is not trivial. Gorgon is a reptile. Gorgon is a reptile, but the way the arrows work out right now, we cannot summon Gorgon over there, right, to out the Liger. And also, Gorgon can be destroyed if we don't make it with IP, and we cannot make it with IP because of Wosu. Right? So the Gorgon does not really work. Could have also kept the normal summon to protect Gorgon, true, but didn't. Alright, tribute Habakiri for prayers, and now we trigger Kusanagi and Habakiri. Remember, there is still 1 Liger Dancer board wipe on the menu. Doesn't Gorgon stop Liger from destroying it if it points to it? No, Liger is unaffected. The thing that stops Gorgon from being destroyed is IP Masquerena. Gorgon's job is just being big enough, because it gains the attack points whatever it points to, right? So Gorgon pointing to a Liger is 3900. So that's Gorgon's job. The protection is from IP Masquerena. Ragnar Raika Celine Snapper. Banish up to 2 monsters from your grave. Target that many spell traps your opponent controls. Destroy them. Wait, that's good. We can destroy the scales, which is important. Wolf and Tiger both get destroyed. Now, this is interesting because, first of all, Tiger triggers here. But also, you can use these cards in the extra deck as fodder for Liger Dancer, in case you didn't know this. Sending a Lunalight from your extra deck to the grave includes the face-up Pendulum monsters. So, in some ways, this fuels the Liger Dancer a little bit. Alright, battle phase. Confirming that we are indeed not outing this Liger Dancer this turn. Tom lets the SP Little Knight go down. And the Kaleido Chick, so we are stuck with just Liger Dancer right now. But just Liger Dancer is technically enough right now. 7,200 life. Technically, just one Liger attacks for game next turn. End phase. Use Liger to destroy. Send Saber. Board is gone. We don't draw because Dugaris. It is just Liger against the world. If Mitsurugi gets another turn, they can definitely out it. They can definitely add Wosu back to hand somehow. Alright, so Saber Dancer is gonna make this Liger big. And that's game. That's game. Okay. That's why this is why even if sometimes just putting Liger outs in your deck is not enough. You also gotta be familiar with how the matchup works, and you gotta make sure that you are ready when it rolls around. Because I think there is a world where you can survive that turn for sure. There's gotta be a way where you can set it up in a way that you don't lose. But all right, game 3 it is. Close one. Quantal after this? I'm not sure. Quantal might already be done because this match has been going on for a long time, so I'm not sure. Having 4 finals is cool. We can watch another one after this. Yeah, I'll try to not spoiler the result. All right, pre-prep is a very good start to game 3 here for Careful Guy. Adding Mirror and Habakiri to the hand. Does not get hit with Droll and Lockbird. Normal summon Lamia. Ooh, we have Max C. But there is Ash Blossom. I guess that is the story of this match so far. Every time you try to stop the opponent from popping off with those, then you get hit with Ash. It's the same thing. Literally, if there's one thing Tom cannot complain about right now, it is this, because the exact same thing happened last game. The other way around. People said Josh was crazy for the Ash video. I don't know. All I'm saying is that ever since I've made that video, and even before that, all I'm seeing is Ash Blossom winning games going first. Almost every time it's used going first, it wins the game. And going second, it does not do that. So I guess it's up for everyone to decide whether they think it's too strong or not, but I think it is without a question benefiting the player going first way more than the player going second. Going second, it won me a lot of gaming against Draco Tail. That is true. It's not always the case in every single matchup. However, that is more due to the nature of Draco Tail than the nature of Ash Blossom in general. This is mostly because the Draco Tail end board is actually beatable if you hold Ash Blossom for a certain choke point, which is not the same with every deck. That is like That's more so a matter of Draco Tail being more balanced in that regard. Would you add a master rule that lets you not play hand traps if you control any cards? I don't think it's necessary for every single card to have that restriction. I get what you're saying, but I think it's not necessary. I think it's mostly just the ones that negate your opponent's hand trap that are a problem. I don't really think if your opponent is able to activate Imperm after making a board, that's a huge problem, right? I think it's more so the fact that you stop your opponent from interacting with you if you have Ash. All right, this is essentially the same end board as game one, and game one, it was enough to win the game. Lunalight Fusion is a scary card. I think we have to stop this one. But it's also risky at the same time, because maybe what if they just activate Heavy Poly next? It's a scary decision to make. Because this only summons Liger if you have 3 Lunalights in hand, right? But if they have 3 Lunalights in hand, the game might end right here. So it's resolving. We've made the call. We made the prediction. You do not have 3 Lunalights in hand. 1, 2. Just 2. Ah. Wait, why did we use 2 from hand though? Doesn't Lunalight Fusion allow you to use 1 from the deck? Why didn't we use like Silverhound plus... Hound was from deck? Was it? Oh no, Silverhound was from deck. My bad. I missaw. Yeah. The Silverhound is from the deck. Right, fair enough. My bad. Careful guy risking it all. Yeah, careful guy not really being that careful here, because that was risky. That was definitely... That could have gone very wrong if we had more Lunalight names in hand. Now, still, despite not summoning a Liger Dancer immediately, this Lunalight Fusion still is a lot of value, right? It's a very, very strong card going second, even if you can't immediately summon Liger with it, right? Because we still got a Perfume Dancer, and also we send Silverhound from deck to grave, so it's a lot of card advantage. But honestly, this Mitsurugi endboard is really strong, so I'm not sure if it's going to be good enough. And we see another Fancy Ball appearance. They really love this card. So they go IP into Fancy Ball. And then Fancy Ball can summon Dynamondo again. That's a very neat use of the card. So far, I've only seen people use it to go IP into WP, into SP, using the opponent's Link monster. But what they are doing is they go Fancy Ball, they go IP into Fancy Ball. Fancy Ball uses other material on the field to go into Dynamondo, and then Fancy Ball has the monster negation effect, right? Which is also pretty good. Unless it gets hit by Dark Ruler no more. All right. And we do not stop it with the Mitsurugi trap. But here's the thing. There's still a lot of gas left in the tank for Mitsurugi. We've got Magatama, Tribute Futsu. That's going to reset the Futsu. Gonna bring it back not negated. Dark Ruler is specifically good here because it also stops Careful Guy from bringing back Murakumo with prayers, because you cannot activate prayers. You cannot take 800 damage under Dark Ruler. So the revival effect does not work. You can use the search effect, but you can't revive with prayers under Dark Ruler. Does he have prayers set? Weird to not use it. I mean, you can chain it to Dark Ruler, but then if you bring back Murakumo, it's still negated. So Futsu can still revive Murakumo. Futsu can still revive Murakumo. The weird thing here, I guess, is that the Futsu has already used its graveyard effect to come back, right? So if Palm now does something that they want to use the trap card on, then they don't have the Murakumo, the Futsu anymore. So they have to let this perfume resolve in order to bring back Murakumo now. And then they can use the trap after. Does Hound negate the trap? Hound can also stop the trap, yeah. Balance. Draw 2. This is going to be down to the wire. This is very close because you are right. There is the trap card. There is a Silver Hound to negate the trap. So if Tom can put this together somehow with these last couple of cards. Yeah, Silver Hound stops the trap. So if we can draw into enough gas to push through this, then Lunalight could take this. One Liger hitting the board is the end of the game. Because it just destroys the whole board and attacks twice. Oh no, there's Dark Ruler. Never mind. Dark Ruler prevents game this turn. This is Tom Kleinegräber, yes, who got second at Worlds last year with Lunalight. I guess that's the next thing, right? Because we cannot go for game this turn. Even if we summon Liger, it might not be good enough because we've seen that Mitsurugi is on Wosu. Murakumo forces a discard. Discard another Kaleido Chick. Foolish sends Yellow Martin. Yellow Martin grabs Masquerade. It definitely makes one Liger, right? It already makes one Liger. I'm pretty sure. Send Emerald Bird. Emerald Bird effect. Brings back Kaleido Chick. And then we could technically perfume Search Wolf. And that is one Liger. Futsu activates. Brings back more follow-up. Revive Lamia. Lamia adds a level 8 reptile. That's Habakiri. There's Leo Dancer. Do we know the last set? I think it's Prayers, but they can't revive because they're on the Dark Ruler. Here is Yellow Martin. Bounce Masquerade. Do we have to go for a desperate Lugaris? G-At's Ritual. Does Heavy Poly work under Dark Ruler? I think so. Wait, no. Yeah, of course. Heavy Poly, you take damage, but your opponent is under Dark Ruler. Yeah, no, that, of course. All right, Dugaris to draw 2 seems a little desperate, but we'll see. Can't do it. Connection failed. Wait. They actually disconnect? There's no way. That'd be so unfortunate. I mean, it looked really good for Mitsurugi anyways. Because I think Tom could have summoned one Liger Dancer, but one Liger Dancer is never a problem because we have Wosu and we cannot lose the game that turn. Because under Dark Ruler. Yeah, I would have loved to see how that would have played out, but I think it's Mitsurugi winning anyways. Most likely. All right, well, I think it is Careful Guy qualifying for the in-person finals in Paris, though, so congratulations. It was a well-played game for sure. Really quickly, we have another game going on here, down here still. Let me get the score real quick between Chaos Slime and Ares. Okay, they are in game 3. They are in game 3. So let's get this one in as well real quick. All right, we have Axe going first. Luke, yes. I'll speed it up because we're close to timeout and I want to be live as fast as possible. 5 mana, using 2 Draco Tails for our Thalion. Add back 5 mana, trigger both in the grave. Solid start. Ketu, Rahu. 5 mana back in hand. Activate Ketu, search Urgula. Rahu, fuse Urgula and Mululu for Gulamel. Double set. Gets Flame. Gets Horn. Branded Fuse. With Albaz from hand. That's annoying. But still. Urgula, add back Frixel. And pass. Okay. 6 cards in hand. Mitsurugi Ritual gets flamed. Gets dropleted. Chain Sanctifier. Negate Fallen of Albaz with droplets. Summon Murakumo. Murakumo activates, wipes the entire board. That triggers Pan. We change Roll as well. That's massive against Mitsu. Frixel gets summoned back from the Pan. Tribute, summon Kusanagi, add back Ritual, Dracotail Sting on that. We do not get to draw for this. Battle phase. Bounce Kusanagi. We have all traps in the graveyard now. Attack over Mululu. This is down to very few cards for Dracotail already. Even though we had full board plus Droll, this is still somehow close. Frixel brings back Lucius. Discards Mululu for Murakumo. By mana effect. The problem is that Dracotail is out of trap cards. So if we don't end the game this turn, we might have trouble setting up something for next turn, but we do have the means to go for game. Okay, now we're live. I mean, yeah, this Rahu... Wait, is this game? It is game. Oh, that was close. That was really close because we had no more traps for the next turn. We could not have survived another turn. All right. And I think that means Axe is joining us as well in the Paris finals. All right. Let's get... I think that's everyone done. We can do a very quick check on the other game 3s. Let me... I'll go to the break screen real quick so you guys don't see the result when I look at the replays, right? Because it'll have the result in the thing. So don't worry, we're not actually taking a break. I just don't want to spoiler the result. So give me a second. All right, we're gonna watch the final game between Quantal and Khan. The winner is going to join us in Paris for the finals. It is Quantal going second against Unchained. Okay. We have, of course, in the replays, you're going to see the hands. It is what it is. Unchained Soul of Sharvara pops the trap. There's a Molcharmi, and it resolves. As you can see, there is no out to the Molcharmi. We have a D barrier in hand, though. Summon Shayama from the deck, Ash Blossom, and then we go Caesar. Okay, I guess it's kind of obvious who's gonna win this one. We saw with Dogoran tributing the Caesar, and now we have Jokul, Reveal, Holisu, Chain, D Barrier, Call Exceeds, sure. And now Holisu is summoned. Activate Vanquish Soul start. Vanquish Soul start, target Holisu, get Borger. Holisu effect, reveal Fire Dark. Summons Raisin, Raisin searches Jiaolong. Jiaolong effect, reveal Fire Dark, destroy the Dogoran. Jokul effect, add Izuna. Borger, bounce back Raisin, summon Borger. Borger, burn. Jiaolong effect. Jiaolong effect. Add Valius. Valius effect. Bounce back Holisu. Battle phase. Activate Abomination. Double it with Jokul, and that is game. And that means Quantal Think is gonna be the third member of the top 4 of this tournament. So we're gonna see Quantal in Paris, of course. Who would have ever doubted my goat? And did it all with Vanquish Soul and a very spicy Mitsurugi deck, to say the least. Okay. The last top 4 match, let me get it for you guys real quick without spoiling the result, because it's not on this page. So luckily we didn't spoiler it. All right, we're in the final game between I Love Synchro and Pandalex, or Pandalex. Let's see. We have a Molcharmi Perulia that gets hit with an Ash Blossom. And it is Sulfur Yummy against Vanquish Soul. Normal summon Primora, try to add Sulfur Happiness. Activate Sulfur Happiness, gets hit with an Ash Blossom. And has no Yummy cards in hand, so this is going to stop the Yummy combo. We have Imperm and Perch to protect us this turn, but we are not going to combo off. And we have a Stake Your Soul, revealing Raisin, summoning Jiaolong. Jiaolong effect, reveal Jiaolong and Raisin to search 2. That gets hit with Imperm. But this is something that Vanquish Soul can definitely maneuver through. Normal summon Raisin gets hit with Purge. So Jiaolong can attack here, and we can make Rock Up the Vanquisher, but we cannot actually get things going now. But we do have interruption for next turn, because we have Rock to summon Raisin. And we have Crow. So draws wait. Hold up. That might actually be too much to stop. Wait. At Promoa. Big Link Karibo. Rock Now specials. In this column. For Holisu. Now, nah, this is too much, right? We can't play through all that. Yeah, we can't play through all that. And Vanquish Soul gets the last spot in the top 4. All right. Yeah. So that was our tournament for today. Once again, because the prizes are all the same for the top 4 players, and the main thing that everyone played for was the invitation for the finals in Paris. The tournament stops here after the top 8 because our top 4 duelists have been decided and they will all qualify. And they've played for 7 hours at this point, so that's why they decided to cut it off after the top 8 or the top 4 has been decided, basically. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching today's Challenger Cup. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun watching. Just a quick note, I'm not going to end the stream right away because there's a couple of new cards I want to take a look at. I just have to finish this off, get done with the sponsored slate and everything, and once we're done with that, we can switch to the normal stream overlays and we can take a look at the new cards. So if you want to stick around for that, feel free to. Until now, thank you all so much for tuning in to today's Challenger Cup. I'll see you next time. And if you want to stick around, then we'll be back in a second to take a look at the new cards. Okay, here we are. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the regular stream portion, I suppose. We have to talk about this, all right? We have to talk about something. And I always knew we've already talked about this. I already told you I'm scared of the second wave of limit over collection heroes support because somehow I am an enemy to every single Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist because every single protagonist deck has cards that I hate. So I've been a certified protagonist hater, you know. All the cyber support, the pendulum support, the hero floodgates, the synchro junk speeder combo slop, whatever it is, you name it. So I already knew that the day that they were gonna announce the friggin' last batch of limit over collection heroes support was gonna be a bad day for me. But this one takes the cake, all right? So the Cybers support from limit over collection, and this is I think the last one, not the last card in general, but the last Link support card from this, like the last, what is it, Reigns card from this protagonist card, is a Link 2. And look, the card looks awesome, but let's read the effect together. All right, it is a Link 2 Dark Cybers Link effect monster, 800 attack, 2 monsters with the same type, so very generic. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is Link summoned or a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, you can send a spell from your hand or face-up field to the grave, add a ritual monster from your deck to your hand. So they have made a generic Cybers Link 2 that searches Habakiri. You can also target one ritual, fusion, synchro, or exceed monster this card points to, and then special summon a monster from your grave with the same type but different monster type. Ritual, fusion, synchro, exceed. So, generic rank 2 Cybers that searches Habakiri and Link climbs after. I don't even know what to tell you. I've never been this this excited to hopefully never play against the card. Okay, so obviously, this card is pretty good. The only thing that I don't know, and this is copium now, because what else am I supposed to do except for coping when I see stuff like this? Like days that they release cards like this, I have no other option but to cope, to try and find some hope somewhere, because like what else am I supposed to do? Like, yeah, if this card was out right now, people would probably be playing Malice Mitsurugi or some shit. But by the time it comes out, one can only hope. One can only hope that Mitsurugi is not as strong as it is anymore. Which is still a shame, because pure Mitsurugi is like, in my opinion, still an awesome deck, but at this point, it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand, man. Like, I love pure Mitsurugi, but if they keep printing cards like this, if they keep leaving cards like for example, King of the Feral Imp is banned in TCG, but it's not banned in Master Duel. If they keep making cards like this, if they keep letting cards like Herald of the Arclight run around in Master Duel as well, they keep printing generic searches, like first it was Ashlan, now it's this. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a problem, and people are gonna be playing Habakiri combo slop forever if this doesn't stop. So I don't know. I don't know. But I guess one can only hope or cope that by the time that we get this card, Habakiri is not going to be a thing anymore. But this is also the reason why I'm so frustrated with the decision to like limit Habakiri as well, right? This is something in the TCG, Habakiri is limited. In Master Duel, it's at 2. And it's like, yeah, pure Mitsurugi cares. Pure Mitsurugi cares about losing access to Habakiri, but all of the combo slop doesn't. Every single combo deck just searches it anyways. So what's the point? Why is Habakiri, like, why is it being handled this way? I don't know. It's frustrating. But yeah. Because at this point, the only solution, the literal only solution, is to ban Habakiri. There's no other thing you can do. If you keep printing generic extra deck monsters that search it, what's the point of it being at 1? Or, hear me out, the other maybe reasonable alternative is to errata it, finally, to have proper locks on it, which it should have had to begin with. If you don't want to kill Mitsurugi, right? Or maybe even some more copium in the Mitsurugi modern deck that's coming out, like the structure deck that's coming out, make a new version. Make a properly balanced version of Habakiri that has proper locks, like locks into reptiles for the entire turn or something. And then you can get rid of Habakiri. Like, at this point, I don't know what else they can do. They need to make a replacement, or they need to errata it. Or they just have to straight up ban it and kill Mitsurugi, which is also a shame, because Mitsurugi is cool. But not like this. Anyways, the joy doesn't stop there, because there's also a new Pendulum support card. So once again, this one I haven't even read yet. This one I read this morning, but this one, you know, we'll just close our eyes and hope it's not good. Astrograph Sorcerer, the Star Magician. Now, based on what it's retraining, this could potentially be a really strong card, because, you know, Astrograph Sorcerer was already a really strong card. So let's see. Level 7 Dark Spellcaster Pendulum, Pendulum Scale 1. You can only use the Pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can destroy this card, and if you do, place a Pendulum monster whose Pendulum Scale is 1 from your hand or deck in your Pendulum zone, except Astrograph Sorcerer, the Star Magician, but it cannot activate its Pendulum effect this turn. Okay. What is this? Is this a proper restriction on a Pendulum card? When did they start doing that? Now, I gotta ask, this does not count if you, like, bounce the card back to your hand and then replay it? Or, like, let's say it gets destroyed and you put another copy of that card? It doesn't say that you can't activate the effects of cards with the same name. So, like, you could, like, make, I don't know, in Master Duel or OCG, you can make, like, Electromite, pop it, add it back to your hand, then rescale it or something. So maybe there's ways around it, but for now, this seems like a fair effect to me. You can only use monster effect. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn each. If a face-up monster card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special this card from your hand. Then you can special one of those destroyed monsters from grave or extra deck. So this is somewhat similar to original Astrograph, but instead of searching another copy, it summons the card back, which is not even straight up better. That's just a side grade, basically. During the main phase, quick effect, you contribute this card, then you can fusion summon a dragon fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling its material from field or face-up extra deck into the deck. Okay. I am cautiously optimistic here, because what I'm seeing so far I mean, I'm not a pendulum magician expert these days, but this feels okay to me, which is a relief after looking at the pendulum, after looking at the link card. The pendulum card seems not bad, but nothing too crazy. Is that a fair assessment for everyone who's more into pendulum in chat? Is that like is this a reasonable card? Because it feels reasonable. It feels like it's not bad. It feels like pendulum would consider playing it depending on all the synergies, but it feels like it's not completely absurd. No, it's bad. I mean, look, don't threaten me with a good time. I'd love if this card was completely unplayable, because I hate pendulum these days. You guys know this about me. If that's the case, then even better. It doesn't seem terrible though. It feels significantly weaker in a world without Electromite, which is I'm happy that we live in that world in the TCG. I'm happy. This feels like this card is designed with Electromite in mind. It feels like it has a lot more going for it if Electromite is there, right? Because then you can do so much more with this card if Electromite is there. Because you can like pop the scale that you put with it, add it back to your hand, rescale it, then use the effect. You can trigger its effect in hand if you have Electromite. It also makes summoning Electromite before you pendulum summon easier because it gives you 2 bodies. So it feels like a much stronger card with Electromite in the mix. But without Electromite in the mix, it just seems okay at best, which is all right. So Onomat support tomorrow then. Yeah, that's the scary thing about this, is that they with the previous waves, I feel like, if I remember correctly, they released all of the cards at once, right? They released 1 card per protagonist on the same day. So I could look at all of it in one sitting. Now we've gone through the Link card, the Reigns card, and the Arc V card, or Arc 5, and now we're waiting for the other ones. So we're still waiting for the Onomat support, which is scary. We're waiting for Junk Speeder support, which is also scary. We're waiting for, I guess, the newest Hero Floodgate. And also we're waiting for, I guess, Dark Magician support is kind of okay, but, you know, could be relevant, I suppose. Yeah, it's gonna be a scary week, but we'll be here and take a look at it once it gets announced, and then we'll see. For now, this card, okay. This card, I don't know. And both of these cards look cool. I'm not gonna lie. Both of these cards look cool, but this card is scary. Searching Habakiri is scary. I wonder what they're gonna do about Habakiri, because it's gonna be a problem for a long time if they keep doing stuff like this. All right. And with that is going to be the end of the stream today. I'm going to be live again tomorrow for a regular stream. So hope everyone had a good time today, and I hope everyone tunes in tomorrow again. Once again, if you could do me one huge favor before you leave, which is check out the pinned comment, which has a link to my YouTube channel, because we are getting super close to 100K subscribers. We're over 99K right now, and I really want to get 100K. I can't wait until we get there. So if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do so. I would really appreciate it. I I'll even copy the message and repost it real quick in case you can't see the pinned message. So please do me a favor and go and subscribe on YouTube. I know some of you guys probably aren't yet. I would really appreciate it. Anyways, until then, thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today. Hope you guys tune in again tomorrow for the Sunday